Lyapa is a vast yet very collected person, as I would put it. She loves to cook. She loves her sleep. Even in her sleep, she's very hardworking. Yeah, she loves to write. I love to write. I love to interact. I love to laugh. Most of the times you'll find me, I'm a happy person, as I would put it. Yeah. I love my family. I'm more of an inclusive type of person. Yeah. I think that's quite much it when it comes to who Lyapa is. Apart from that, on the professional aspect of who Lyapa is, I'm an accountant. I studied accounts. Yeah, so I've studied Zika, I've studied ATD. I'm an aspiring actuary and aspiring summer student. Yeah, and I'm a branch store manager. Yeah, so I'm in administration and management where I'm currently working. Yeah. But just to summarize it all, I'm a free spirit, as they would put it. Apart from everything that I mentioned of who Lyapa is, I'm a Christian above it all. Yes, I'm a Jesus freak, as a 21st century person would put it. So in everything that I stand for, I'm more of I'm a representative of the kingdom. So in everything that I do, I represent excellence, as I would put it. So in everything that I would speak of, be it in the aspect of women, be it in the aspect of family, be it in the aspect of relationships, and academics and professionalism, for me it's more of excellence, how you'll be able to do it without compromise. So I'm a type of person who does not compromise at any point. So what I stand for as an individual is more of what's bothering everyone and what most people are scared of putting out there. Like personally, I just have a problem with people that just don't want to dress up. Like younger ladies that don't want to dress up. I've got a problem with women who want to be over independent. As I'm speaking, I'm quite young and I'm working and I've been to school and all those things. I'm independent, but we were living in a society where people are over independent and it's also bringing problems. So for me, it's more finding a balance, and this is something that I personally try to put across. Yes, so even in my personal endeavors and my walk with my faith and everything else, it's more centered around that. The problem that, I don't know if it's a problem, I don't know how we would actually call it, but for me it's become more of a problem than it is a perk. Because everything that comes around should have its specs and its corns, but I think it's become more of a problem. Would make relation to how our parents were growing up. It was more of you be more submissive and not more independent or not learned and whatnot. But we're in the 21st century. Everyone can be learned. Everyone can go to school. Everyone can get a good job. A woman can drive. A woman can stay on her own. She can be a boss and all those things. And it's great. Those are great. These are things that people didn't have back then. But then we sit down and say, I don't need most of the things. I can do these things on my own. And that's where the problem starts. Because a woman, originally, when we go back to scripture, when we go back to our Bibles, when we read through scripture, from Genesis to Proverbs to the book of Ruth, what they have to say about women are supposed to be helpers. They're supposed to be submissive. Women are supposed to be virtuous. They're supposed to be patient. They're supposed to be kind-hearted and all those things. So we've taken out those aspects, and we want to be men. We want to be more like the world. But in our independence, we're forgetting the fact that we're women. And that's our power. We're women, we're not men. We're not built to be men, we're built to be women. So don't try to be a man, try to be a woman, but better. So in as much as we are trying to be independent, let's get back to the fact that the issues of marital problems where someone doesn't want to be submissive. Why? Because they're woman enough. You're not woman enough, you're just a woman. Just stick to that and all those things. So you're hardworking, you've got a great job, you're a woman. When you get back home, you're a Christian, you're a good friend and all those things. And it's affecting almost every single thing, because now when you've made it, certain people just can't hang out with you, certain people just can't talk to you. Now, and at the same time, I think it's just taken away so much from who a woman is built to be. So I think in our independence as women, let's go back to our roots and remember who we are really. Because I feel we can always juggle. You can always make it. You can always you can always be a Christian. Be a woman. Don't take it away. Don't take it away. It's for me, for such women, it's not actually an argument. These things have been written. These things have been done before. So what we're doing now is just going with the flow. But what flow? Have you sat down to analyze what it's really doing to you? You don't have to be married to know that you're supposed to be a submissive wife, and you don't have to be over independent to know that it's getting to you. Just find a balance. You're a woman. For starters, you were built to be a woman. That means naturally these things come with you being a woman. So for the wife, let me start with the wife. For the wife that is very independent, let's say she gets 7-8 figures. If there's anything like that, you get 8 figures and whatnot, but you've got children at home, you've got 3 kids at home, and you've got a loving husband to go to. But you want to be independent still. You want to be over independent. You need to find a balance of knowing that when you get to your office, you're the boss. You need to know that when you get home, you're a mom. You need to know that when you get home, you're a wife. And at the same time, you need to get down on your knees and pray for that family. Once you find the balance in everything, we won't be having this argument of over-independence. No, I've heard women who say, what if my husband leaves me? What if all these things arise and all that you don't understand and whatnot? Trust me, those things happen, and it's unfortunate because it's part of life and all those things. But then at the same time, I'm speaking about you as an individual. What are you doing for you and your family? What are you bringing to the table? So I feel when you collect yourself and know what you stand for and what you're supposed to do at what particular time, you won't necessarily have to have that battle back and forth. Know what you are. You're a woman. You know your responsibilities. You know what you're supposed to do. So let it not get to your head and say, okay, now I have everything presented to me on a silver platter. You can have all those things and it can be done. I'm sure a lot of people are doing that. I've seen a lot of people doing that. They're very independent in their homes. You don't have to be independent on your own. You can be independent in your home with your husband. Make it work. At the same time, you're being a business partner, you're being a wife, and you're being a great mom, and you're being a woman also. So it doesn't have to be split across or all those things. Just do your part, and you'll find that most of these arguments we won't have people complaining about how women now don't want men around because they feel they can do it on their own. At the end of the day, it will just be, okay, you know what? She's doing it good. She's kind-hearted, she's very patient, she makes a good mom, she makes a good wife, and all those things, and life goes on. I know it's not as simple as it sounds, but it can be. I believe it can be done. Yes, there have been quite a number actually. I think it's more like underrating what it is that you have as an individual, because when you're putting it out there, you're putting out there what you feel, not knowing that a lot of people, it's actually going to help, even if it's just one person or if it's going to be 10 people, but it is getting to someone. And those people come back and they'll text you or they'll meet you in person and tell you, saying, on this particular date, have you ever found someone that has read out your post from the back of their head? And I'm there, I'm like, I don't even remember half of the words that I put in there. I've had so many people, especially when it comes to the aspect of women and knowing your worth and knowing where you stand and finding a balance and your faith and all those things. And this particular point of view, so someone comes to me and then they're telling me, saying, and this is someone that's been married for about 6 years, and then she comes to me and she's telling me, like, I've been married for this long, it's not so long rather, but we're starting to have problems because I feel he's jealous of me getting a job and whatnot. So I sit her down, I'm like, it's never been about him being jealous. Have you taken the shift from you being a wife to just being a boss? And then she's there like, no. I'm like, your response right there. Are you sure? She's like, I don't know, but he has to live with it. I'm like, no. Just because one area of your life is progressing doesn't mean the other area of your life should suffer for it. Try to find a balance. There's been so much, and it's overwhelming because I personally didn't know that I was doing that. And where people come to you, I know there's a disclaimer because it's personal and all those things, but people will come to you and they won't even come to complain. It's them telling you, saying, this actually happened, or I made it through because of something that you said. Okay. Yeah. Professionally, I'll start with professionally. As I mentioned earlier, I'm an aspiring actuary. So I know it's very weird for a woman, but I love math. We're more in a surplus because most people say they don't get well paid around here. They're very expensive. Honestly speaking, they're very expensive. So you'll find that they'll go out there, get their education from that side, and stay that side. And we're lacking here. So, at my point of view, because I love home, I'm going to get my education, get it to the highest of levels, and stay back home and see how we can manage. Because I know this is a beautiful country. We've got so much to make use of. So if I can contribute one or two things, I'll be the happiest person. Probably married. Married 5 years, maybe a baby on the way. Jesus, I've never imagined myself all big, but yeah, a baby on the way. And just hoping that every single person that I actually helped out benefited one or two things that I've put across the past couple of months or past couple of years, will be doing so much better. I think more of everything that you've actually said. I think more in, I'd say, mentorship, because mentorship sometimes is subconsciously done, where you find yourself, even if it's a 2 minutes conversation, you probably have, you'll be subconsciously mentoring someone, but I'll probably want to make up something much bigger than me putting it out there and telling people, saying this is supposed to be done, or let's see how we can help ourselves in this range. But bringing people with the same ideas on board, just going around and let's say getting like minds with the same focus, with the same purpose, and building up It might be a mentorship school. I'm actually hoping I do open a mentorship school and just bring people that have been there, people that have been in similar situations, people that are fighting or going through similar situations, where we just sit down and encourage each other. And especially for the younger ladies that are upcoming, for me, I think that's something that I would actually want to see more people engage in, because we're lacking. Most of the ladies that you see now probably lack mentorship, and I would actually want more people on board, so we see how we can drive this thing.